Alright, we should be live. So, g'day there, ladies and ladians. Welcome back to our Nature's Madness run of Black 2. Last time we managed to get all the way up to the Elite Four and gave it a few tries. It was kind of hard, but we got there eventually. However, we weren't able to beat Iris. So, I'm kind of thinking we change up the team a little bit. So, who is good on the team? Carl, I think is good. Pretty useful against a lot of Pokemon that we were facing in the Elite Four. Molly, also pretty good. I do like Silky. Silky was pretty useful. However, when it comes to Tobeans, Drop Bear, and Ariana G, I feel like at least one of them needs to be replaced. As for which one? Like, I don't know how much I'm really getting out of Ariana. Maybe Ariana is better off being replaced. You know, she has served us well so far, but we'll try and find something to replace her. So, we need probably like a flying type. That way we don't need to worry about Earthquake. Or maybe like a good Ice type or Dragon type. So we can deal with Iris. So let's go through some of the Pokemon, see their natures, and see if any of them are useful. So, Emolga, Bashful. Bashful can't battle opposite gender. Genderless Pokemon can only battle other genderless. That is potentially rough. I don't think we could really use that. I mean, this is a flying type, but it's a male. And so we're not going to get much out of Combee. Burb, Jolly, Jolly. Must switch out after onset is increased. Not too bad. Means we can't use any self-buffing moves, but could potentially go for it. What else we got? Oh, we got with that. Quacky. That's where we, that's where we gotta roll to determine our attack. Swablu, Jolly again. So, must switch out after own status increase, so no Dragon Dance or Cotton Guard, we'll just be going straight for it. Pelipper, Impish. Must use not very effective moves. That's a bit hard to use. Driftwood maybe? Bashful. Yeah, that's the opposite gender thing. Skymeadow, Lax. Alright, that's copy opposing Pokemon root category after first turn. Ooh. That might be it, but it's kind of awkward to use. Hey Snowy, how's it going? Best of luck in the Elite Four. We managed to beat the Elite Four, but it's Iris that's the actual hard part with her dragons, you know? Like my team currently is pretty weak to Earthquake. I've got 2 Steel types, a Poison type, and Allergy type, so I'm looking to change one out for a Flying type, you know? Because Earthquake on like Haxorus is pretty crazy, you know? What about Mantyke? Modest nature. Modest. Must be a switching target unless other Pokemon is KO'd. So if we ever want to manually switch, it would have to be the Mantyke, which doesn't sound too bad. by comparison. Alternatively, have we got any levitators? Lunatone? I guess. Gentle must use moves with less than 60 base power. I don't think that's gonna slide. Other levitators. You didn't levitate. Oh, we also got Ducklet here. Charm. Must use all 4 moves before having free choice for the rest of the battle. That could be something. Not gonna lie. You know, if we get some good moves onto Ducklet and just cycle between them, not going to be the worst, I think. And there's a good chance that Ducklet dies before it gets all 4 moves off, so that is potentially an option. Any other levitators? Oh, I guess we got Dynamo here, Impish. Must use some very effective moves. That's kind of rough when we only have basically normal and electric type moves. Not many targets will be able to hit. Now we did. Oh, I didn't even see these about here. Quirky. Oh yes, that's not gonna be random moves. We could always like delete moves so that the chance is like, you know, 50 or 100%. So that could be something we do. Coughing with Levitate as well. Although if they got Mold Breaker, that's just gonna get past Levitate. And Hacksaw probably does have Mold Breaker. So maybe not a Levitator. So Ducklet is a potential. Mantike. Skarmy was a maybe. Also, Weebat was a maybe. Weebat wouldn't be that bad because, like, we do need extra support against Marshall, you know, with, against Fighting type. However, his Pokemon no Rock type moves, so that's kind of annoying. Now, of course, we are missing a few Pokemon, so let's look over what we are missing. Because there are Pokemon like Sigilif, Delibird, you know, so maybe they got a good nature. So, let's look over. Yeah, so we could get like, yeah, things like Durant. We already got a Cubchoo, we already got an Onix. We don't have a Cryogonal. And we don't have Heatmore. So we can get those. Twist Mountain. Victory Road. I don't think we have a Stalk. Do we have Stalk or Fur? I don't think so. I know this is going to be pretty tedious with the planning, but we need to have a good strategy for the league, you know? Yeah, right, so we don't have Stalk or Furrow. I guess I could have seen the Pokedex and that would have confirmed it. Yeah, so no Stalk. We could get Dradigan. That could be a decent Dragon type option. Don't know if we have Golett. What else are we missing here? Did we not get a Geiger or Goscore? I mean, that is a flying type. So that could be an option. Don't have Bouffant. We don't have any of the ice creams, I don't think. We don't have... Ooh, a Metang? Delibird. Okay, I think we've been pretty on top of the Pokemon we've been catching. So maybe we try and hunt. What's going to be most useful here? Gligar. Gligar could be a good flying type and good ground type maybe. Try it again. Could be an option. Durant is also pretty decent overall, you know. So they're probably the Pokemon that are gonna help the most. But we do also have Sigilif in the desert area, which would be a good typing, Psychic and Flying. You know, Psychic and Flying would really help us out, even though Marshall is kind of super effective with, like, Rock type moves. Because it would ignore Earthquake from Iris, and it could be super effective against, Marshall. So I do think hunting down Sigilif could be the way. I mean, there is always a chance that it's got a bad nature, but we'll shop around a bit. But it could be that maybe something like Gligar is better because it will resist fighting type, you know? Yeah, I remember fighting Sigilif on the outside of the area, so once we get here. Also, are we missing Natu as well? Okay, Red Castle. Oh, we're missing Baltoy. Baltoy could be good. Ground and Psychic. Possibly Levitate. I mean, Levitate, but it's pretty bulky, so if we can get a Baltoy, that could be good. Yeah, Sigilif. Okay, no Natu. Okay, do you have a Gothita? That could be maybe good. What else are we kind of missing? Oh, there we go. We got Grumpig. Yeah, alright. So, we'll try and get a Sigilif or maybe a Baltoy. I might just speed this up because it's kind of boring. Because we're here for a Sigilif, you know? Now we can't get any of the weather trio. Oh, there's a Sigilif. Alright, so this is the perfect time to use something. Ready? This is the perfect time to use the Master Ball. Because it has Whirlwind, right? This Sigilif has been really hard to catch, and I can't really think of a better Pokemon to use on. And so, what are we going to name this male Sigilif? Avianoid. Huh. It is such a weird Pokemon. Like, is it man-made or is it a bird? Really hard to tell. It almost makes you think it's not really a Pokemon, but it is, you know? So, Sigilif, male, we could call it Naz after, like, the Nazca lines, right? Maybe we'll be a bit cool with it, with a Z. That works. Alright, so we got ourselves a Sigilif. I think now we go for a Baltoy. I don't know how we're gonna weaken it, maybe Burb, but getting a Baltoy could be useful. Come on, Baltoy. Do I need to go like to the level 4? Man, these Baltoys are pretty rare, aren't they? Alright, I guess we're not gonna get Baltoy. So what is that? It's just part of the pillar, okay. Alright, so no Baltoy, but we do have Sigilif. I also think we try and go for Gligar. So Victory Road. Can I go out there? Okay, so just on the Route 23. Also, do we have a Shuppet? Or a Banette? Oh, we don't have Banette, but do we have Shuppet? I don't know if that will be particularly useful, but you never know. It does not look like we have a Shuppet. Okay, noted. what is your nature? Quiet. That's pretty useful actually, because Quiet can't use sound-based moves. I mean, Sidgwick might have something like, what, Synchronize? But I think that's a later generation attack, and it's not even that good. So, should be good. Definitely an option. So, we're wanting to get a Geiger. Ugh. Trainer. Okay. Alright, Geiger. A Sork? I guess we don't have one of them. So it would be good to get one. We can look at Axe Scissor. Ah, critical hit. My bad. Here's another one. Maybe we try one strength. Now strength. Alright. Okay, male Sork. We gotta call him Bert. Like, Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street are, Sork and Fur, really. Like, Sork isn't yellow, but... but they look like him, you know? Alright, so that's, Sork out of the way. We still need a Geiger. Also, there might be a TM around. Not too worried about that puzzle. Any hidden Goros around? No, but a hidden trainer. Well, given our rules, we have to send out Silky. Alright, let's just try and find a Geiger. Who's fastest? Drop there. Come on, Geiger. Hey, there we go. You gotta catch it. Okay, that was a crit. Almost. Alright, female Geiger. Could be potentially really useful on the team for this battle. Female Gligar. How do we evolve it? We need a Razor Claw? No, that's Sneasel. We need a Razor Fang. I don't know if we have one. Going to name it after a Gligar that was used in my Pokemon D&D. There we go. And do we have a Razor Claw? Razor Fang? No. Because we have it equipped onto someone, but I think it's Razor Claw. Dang it, so it's not the Razor Fang. So I don't know where we get a Razor Fang. And it would have to be like nighttime as well, wouldn't it? So maybe we don't do it now. Unless we had the EV light on Gligar. Which means that toe beams might need to be off. Bashful. Bashful. Can't battle opposite gender. Yeah, that's a terrible one. And Naive. I think that's a bad one as well. Only a status move until a super effective move is used on you. Yeah, no. Alright, so we're not even worried about Gligar. We do have some psychic types that could be useful against Marshall, so Modest. Must be switching target when Pokemon is KO'd. Not bad. Bit slow, but not bad. Hasty, no. Right, Duffy's it. Lash. Can only use moves with less than 100% accuracy. So, like, Focus Blast. What else could it really use? Not much. Alright. So, I think the idea is that we are replacing Ariana G with Sigilyph. I mean, we can always set up a Tailwind, which isn't bad. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's level it up with some Keenies, and then we can maybe think about teaching it TMs or whatever. We won't be having EVs on it, but Aircutter's good. Probably better than Whirlwind at this point. So yeah, we won't be having. We don't really need a light screen. Reflect though could be useful. Okay, Reflect, maybe. Psybeam, Psywave. I guess Psywave could be on Gothita, but it's not that good. Synchro Noise, we can't use sound-based moves, so no. Not that it would be that useful. Mirror move. No. It's a bit too hard to predict. Gravity, no. Air Slash, maybe. Air Cutter, Air Slash. Yeah, it's a singles battle. We're not too worried about crits. We want potential chance of flinch if we get like speed up from Tailwind. Psychic, yep, always good. Cosmic Power. That would be good if we had like leftovers or something, that way we could actually bulk up a bit, but I don't think we'll be able to do that. Sky Attack. No. Alright, and now we're going to get everyone up to level 64, and then we should be good. That should give us more of an advantage from last time. Let me just... Yeah, as for what I'm to give Sigilith, Twisted Spoon maybe. You know what? We're going to put the Quick Claw on from Ariana. Revives. There we go. So... Oh, we do have leftovers! I did forget about that, so... Maybe Cosmic Power Sigilith is a thing if this doesn't work out. I forgot about leftovers. Alright, so no EVs, but Sigilith is looking much better. So Tailwind, Sidekick, Air Slash, and Reflect. If nothing else, I feel like that's pretty useful. Okay, we need to make sure we're stocking up on healing items. I throughout the most of the game we had Amulet Coin. Alright, that should be enough. So, without EVs on Sigilith, it will be a bit interesting, but hopefully it all kind of works out. I think we are ready. So, it took so long to get here, but we're ready to go. I could replace something like Cut on Leavanny with something. I guess. Oh, acrobatics maybe? No. Will-o'-the-wisp? No. Actually, can Mirror learn Rock Tomb? Because that could be No. Anyone with an Ice Beam? Ooh, Naz with Ice Beam could be useful against Iris for sure. How much do we really need Air Slash? Or rather, do we need Psychic? We got a Dark, we got a Psychic, we got Fighting, Ghost. Alright, so Ice Beam will be maybe an option once we get up to Iris. But in the meantime, I think we're ready to go. So, let's get Marshall out of the way. We have a pretty decent chance with Naz. Even if we start a Reflect or... Actually, if we're thinking about Reflect, maybe we try and get a Light Clay onto him. Do we have one? We do not. Very annoying. Alright. So, I feel like we, Psychic, Air Slash, Tailwind, or Reflect if necessary. Round 1. Now we are high level, so we do have the advantage. Let's go for an Air Slash, maybe we get a crit, and we can at least get rid of the Sturdy. Well, maybe not a crit, but a flinch. Nope. Rock Tomb. Bit annoying, but we should still be fast. Hopefully. Okay, there goes the full restore. Excellent. Hey, quick call, baby! Concorder, this is what's really annoying. If we are faster, I would like to set up a Reflect. Because Concorder with Bulk Up kind of counters the majority of my team. Oh, never mind, we just destroy it. So I don't think we're faster than it, so we'll just go for Psychic. Thanks to Reflect, we survive. Hey, Peckaways. Stalker's a sturdy one. Pretty sure Furrow has guts. I mean, that probably does sound about right. But, and they got rid of my Reflect. But you never know. Well, I mean, I guess you do know, but I did not know. Okay, so we have to send out Silky. Hopefully, the level 64 with Vanny is faster than Stalk. Yeah. Which means that we got Mienshao, which is a very annoying Pokemon. Because you're gonna go bounce, aren't you? If you're going to bounce, I gotta go into Carl. Okay. Now, from memory, Mienshao was faster, but perhaps I have outsped it now. So I guess we'll find out. Okay, we do outspeed it. But I repeat, we do outspeed. High jump kick. Yeah, that's rough. Which means since the ally has been KO'd, we have to send out Silky. The question is, will we be able to outspeed Mienshao? Probably. Yeah. Which is good, because Marshall was the most annoying Elite 4 member for our team. So it's good that we kind of did that a lot easier thanks to our Sigilith. So that's one down. We need... And then we need some hyper potions. There we go. So that's one down. Second hardest one was Shauntal, I believe. Wait, is it Shauntal or is it Grimsley? I think it's Shauntal. Yeah, this is Shauntal. So, starts off with a Cofagrigus. So in terms of battling this, I think I used Ariana with Toxic last time, so what am I going to use this time? Well, it can use Will-O-Wisp, and probably like a Shadow Ball or Nightshade. Do I just try Naz again? You know? Let's try it. I do have the overall advantage, you know? My 6 Pokemon versus her 4, my level 64 Pokemon versus her level like 56 Pokemon, so I'm willing to give it a try. Round 2. There's Cofagrigus. I do prefer saying Cofagrigus though, because like Coffin, Cofag. Either way, so we should outspeed. So let's see how we go with a Air Slash. Come on, punch! Shadow Ball. Do we survive? We should survive. Hopefully. Okay. Use Tailwind for other Pokemon. Wouldn't be the worst thing. But let's just go for an Air Slash, get out of the way, you know? It's the Chandelure that I'm most scared of. Drifblim. Alright, I feel like at this point, if we are fast enough, then we should go for Tailwind. Thunderbolt. Okay. Didn't expect that. Fortunately, Silky can't do much, but we kind of need Silky maybe against like the Golok. So what's it gonna do against Molly? Probably not much. We'll be able to set up at least. Okay, so we've done our setup move. Now we get to roll. We still have Tailwind up. And we might still have Tailwind up after this, so hopefully we can speed blitz whatever it comes out. Nope, Tailwind is out. Chandelier. This is what I'm scared of. But we should be good. Looks like we outspeed it. Oh, and a crit, because why not? Go like, this is another scary one, but it's not as bad. There we go. Okay, so those were the 3 Elite Four members that were most annoying for me. So the other 2 should be pretty easy. So this should be Grimsley. Let's go ahead and heal up. Now against Grimsley, I think we sent out Carl to do all the work. And that worked out well. Round 3. Okay, Lifeline I'm not too scared of. I mean, Fake Out is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. Excellent. Crocodile. The Intimidate is going to be a bit annoying, but we'll make do with it. Now we could always... What we could do is we could swap to Sigilith. It'll bait the ground type move. We'll avoid the ground type move with the flying type, right? Then it will be baiting into a dark type move. We'll switch back to Carl, get hit, justified. We'll increase our attack rather than having a decrease in attack from the Intimidate. So let's do that. Oh, it better than Rock Tomb. Okay, sure. So I could be going for Rock Tomb again. There we go. That works out. Doesn't Sacred Sword ignore stat changes? It probably does, because there's like the Sacred Sword and Secret Sword, right? The target stat changes. So that would be like the Crocodile's defenses. So if it used like Iron Defense, or if it used like Shell Smash, Sacred Sword would be not caring about that at all. But I do appreciate the heads up. But now we should be good. Because it would be weird to have the justified ability increasing an attack if hit by Dark type, and a move that counters Dark type, but wouldn't care about your own attack increases. You know? Like, that would be kind of awkward. I'm just glad that we managed to dodge the Rock Tomb with Sigilith. That's good. And Bishop, to help me round it out. right? And then there was one. So against Caitlyn, I think we just went with pure Molly Sweep. We'll just use like a super potion. We didn't take much damage. There we go. I know we're a bit overloaded for Elite Four, but for Iris I think we're fine, you know? So we're just gonna go Molly Sweep. And should be good. It's only like the yawn from Mashana at the start that's kind of annoying. So depending a bit on RNG will be how much we get. How easy this will be. Here we go. Round 4. Alright, there's Mashana. We have to use our first turn on Sword Dance as part of our nature. There's the yawn. So it has like 4 wand, doesn't it? There's no way it has levitate. So Earthquake would be a stronger move. But maybe I want to get past the sleep from Mashana, because like, it's going to be using Dream Eater, right? If I knock out Mashana, the next Pokemon might be using, say, Focus Blast while I'm asleep, and I kind of don't want to do that. There's also a chance I get an attack boost from Metacore, so I think it's the best choice. Okay. Does it only know Yawn and Dream Eater? I mean, that would be interesting. So, I reckon we get past the sleep while we're just battling Mashana. Because Reuniclus or Gothitelle probably no Focus Blast, which would be kind of annoying. Okay, so it doesn't have Levitate, which is good. But this should destroy it. Because although we have a Razor Claw for increased crit, right? We'll either have +2 attack from Sword Dance, or we're doing crit. Now, Reuniclus. That's got... Does it have Levitate? I don't think it has. It's got more Regenerator, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'm either getting +2 attack from Sword Dance, or I'm getting crit. Either way, that's doing more damage, and I believe in this gen it would be about the same damage, right? Because +2 in attack is about +100%, and a critical hit is 2 times damage. So I think it ends up being about the same. Give or take. The only major difference is our critical hit will ignore the opponent's stat changes. And finally, Gothitelle. Alright. Let's Gothitelle out. Okay. So now we go on to the champion. Now I could teach my Sigil with Ice Beam. Might not be the worst option. I mean, activation. What is the plan here? Because at first it was like Hydreigon, right? So if I go Carl... Hold up, let me check some speed stats. If I'm being honest, Drop Bear probably isn't going to be doing much this battle. 164, 177. Yeah, so Carl should be fast enough to kind of destroy Hydreigon, I want to say. And hopefully I'm strong enough to destroy it. If I get hit by a flamethrower, that's going to be very annoying, but I might be able to live one. Maybe. Alternatively... Wait, what's your speed at? Oh, you're kind of slow, all things considered. Alternatively, I could always go in for a discharge on any of them to paralyze. To be honest, I think Drop Bear is not that useful for this battle. Maybe not even Toe Beans. So if we do wipe out, maybe I replace those as well. I don't think Silky is fast enough for Hydreigon. And I think her definitely destroys us. So I really gotta hope on Carl being able to take it on. Or I could, yeah, go for a discharge, hopefully paralyze it. I mean, it's not gonna be the best, but it'll be something. That way, when Drop Bear does die, I can immediately go into Silky to destroy Hydreigon. Saving Carl for something else. The thing is that Carl is weak to ground. Also, we probably take off the smoke ball of Carl. Carl is weak to ground, which is, you know, Draudigan, Aggron, and Hack. So let's probably have Earthquake. Paralyze? No, that's not it. Let's go for Shell Bell, maybe. Don't think any of this is really gonna help. Flight Stone? No. I guess we give Carl the Shell Bell. It's not much, but might be something. So, I'm thinking... Well, because Carl is fast, hopefully we can get a revenge kill with him. So, I am going to go with Drop Bear. Hopefully paralyze Hydreigon. And then leave only Destroy. And then from there, I either go like Sigil for a Tailwind or a Reflect. Maybe I go Cavalion, you know, depending on how strong the Pokemon is, maybe I go Mimil for another Paralysis via Bounce. So I do have some options, but it's not going to be too easy for me. Here we go. It's the final round. She's got a full team of 6. There's Hydreigon. So if we can paralyze this, that would be great. Like, we could just go for Thrash, maybe like 2-shot it. Which technically wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Ah! Discharge has a 30% chance to paralyze. Thrash has about 80 or 90 base power. $120. Okay, that's even better. They got decent attack. Better than a special attack. Discharge gets to stab with. Stab's gonna be 120, so it's same base power, but it is resistant and our special attack is lower. So maybe Thrash we can 2-shot Hydreigon before it can 2-shot us. We will need to worry about confusion, but if we are able to survive, then perhaps we can discharge the next Pokemon, making it easier for us. Oh, we are not going to 2-shot it. But it won't 2-shot us. So we're not confused, which means we're doing it again. We survive. Okay, there's Hydreigon now. We're going to be confused, but if we can hopefully either pivot and say drop as a sacrificial thing later. Okay, you're definitely doing like an earthquake or something like here. I don't want to use... We need to get rid of the Sturdy, I think. Actually, it might have Rockhead. Because if the Zebstrika goes down, right? We send out Leaf Only because we have to. It's probably going to go for a Rock type move. So we'll switch to, say, Cobalion. And then we add a Sacred Sword to Death. But if it has Sturdy, we won't be able to one-shot it. So if we can deal a little bit of damage, get past the confusion, deal a bit of damage, pop the Sturdy, maybe discharge paralysis, even better, right? Then Cobalion could take it out. If it's got a Rock Head, that doesn't really matter, okay? I guess it doesn't matter either way. So we just gotta hope that we get past confusion and at least hit it a little bit. If we get paralysis, even better. Okay, all things considered, that went pretty well. Okay, it didn't take recoil, which means it doesn't have Sturdy anyway. But we have at least weakened it. I don't think... Will Leavanny's Leaf Blade be able to take it out? So, it's going to be neutral. It is on half health, but it is a pretty defensive Pokemon. We do have decent crit rate. I want to save Cobalion, I guess, as much as possible. Alright, let's go for the Leaf Blade. Surely we can do some pretty good damage. No. But doesn't autonomize Aggron outspeed Leavanny? Maybe. Leavanny's not the fastest, but it's decently fast. Aggron's kind of slow. I know I'm like second guessing myself after every single move, but I feel like it's important. Do we outspeed? I'm going to hope so. Okay, full restore. So maybe we'll switch up anyway. Because if it's going to use double edge or a rock type move, then Caballion will definitely beat away. And Caballion definitely outspeeds. Double edge. Good thing we turned into a steel type. Now we definitely outspeed, so we should be able to destroy it. Okay. Next up, I think, is Dradigan. Oh, nice, Shovel. Dradigan. Dradigan's a bit scary. I mean, it's not the best Pokemon, but it could reasonably go for an Earthquake. Our moves do the same amount of damage, right? 80, 90. So it's better for more damage or for flinch. It's what, 10% or 30% chance for flinch? If it's 10%, it's probably not worth it. If 30%, maybe. Alternatively, we hope that we're betting out an Earthquake, switch to Naz, and then we could not worry about the Rough Skin. Possibly get a Reflect or Tailwind up, if necessary. I kinda like the idea of Naz, and we'll save Carl for later. Please be going for a ground type move. Focus Blast. Well, we take those. I will set up a Reflect, because it probably has a rock type move. Let's just go for a Psychic. Should be able to survive one more Rock Slide, maybe? No, maybe not. Okay. Well, we have to send out Silky. We do have Reflect up, so we should be able to X-Scissor decently well. Flamethrower. Ah, crap. Why does Dragon learn Flamethrower? Did not expect that at all. Focus Blast, Flamethrower, Rock Slide. Alright, let's just revenge kill it with Carl. I don't want to have to worry about Dragon knocking in another Pokemon. But I didn't have Rough Skin. So what's the other ability? It's like... I don't know. Now, the Pokemon we've all been waiting for, the Hexorus. This is where the fun begins. Because ideally I want to try and flinch it because its Earthquakes are going to be very brutal. We still have Reflect up. So maybe we just blitz it with Sacred Sword a few times. Hopefully we can two-shot it with Sacred Sword, meanwhile Earthquake with Reflect won't be enough to knock us out. If it has Focus Blast and Flamethrower, we are probably screwed anyway, so let's just go for it. Oh, we do not two-shot it, it is bulky. Dragon Dance. Very scary. Reflect Roll off. very scary. Dragon Dance again. We need to get a crit here. If we get a crit here, we can get rid of this Haxorus. We did not get a crit. Earthquake. This is what I was worried about. Let's go! With our increased defense of being just a Cobalion, right? We managed to survive that Earthquake. Hooray, we get a little bit of healing back. Lapras. Okay. And then, does she still have another one? We've done Hydreigon, Aggron, Druddigon, Haxorus. This is Lapras. So then she still has another one. I kind of feel like I save Carl for maybe later. I go... Toebeans? What are you going to do against Toebeans? Not much. Ah, a Thunderbolt. I should have suspected that a Water type would have an electric type move. My mistake. We can maybe get you paralyzed. Okay, I don't think Toebeans is doing much. Okay, we need to Sword Stance, because of our nature. And then we go Rock Slide, hopefully knock it out. And then we just hopefully blitz whatever the last Pokemon is. We'll need to survive a Water type move, but... Sing, okay, okay. If he's going for Sing and missing, will be great, but we gotta go for Rock Slide. No! That's a bad outcome, that's a bad outcome. Okay, if we're going to survive this, we need either KO or a flinch. Okay, we get a KO. I repeat, we get a KO. So we've got a Sword Stance boosted Escadrille and a pretty fast Cobalion versus Archeops. If we can weaken it to half health, then its ability will kick in, reducing its stats. It is a pretty strong Pokemon outside of that. Like, it's really its own ability that's weighing it down. But the question is, what do we go for? We don't need to fully... Does the Freedom Swirl speed or is it just the attack? And special attack. Either way, Rock Slide not as accurate, but if we are faster, we can get a flinch. Metal Core, more accurate, less damage. Kind of maybe about the same damage because it's stab. So I guess that's not too bad. Do we outspeed? We do not. It goes for Rock Slide. We survive. We Metal Claw. Come on. Come on. We win! We win, team! Woo! Oh my... Once I saw Lapras and Archeops, I'm like, yeah, great. But I guess it was great, because it wasn't as bad. We had a few bits of good luck, I guess, and we had a few bits of bad luck in that battle. We win! Let's go. I didn't expect Druddigon with Flamethrower and Focus Blast, Lapras with Thunderbolt of all things. But we got it. Let's go. We win. Man, that was an intense battle though. I kept second guessing myself. I feel like Zebstrika's Thrash would be able to two-shot. No, it was a first shot. You know? Thought Turbines would be able to do something. Didn't really do anything. And who would have thought that the sigils that we just got today would have been like one of the key MVP members of the entire league, you know? Like the Reflect, and the Tailwind didn't really help out, but the Reflect was really useful. And of course, like putting some pressure on with some special type attacks like Psychic or Air Slash was good. Yeah, we are not doing that. And so that is the Nature's Madness run. We have, you know, managed to defeat all of the gyms, everything to do with Team Plasma, and finally the Elite Fallen Champion, with each Pokemon having unique rules on how they're supposed to be played. Now in terms of like what we actually have to deal with, right? If a Pokemon got carried, we had to send out Leavanny. We had Turbines with a horrible move pool because of it had to have less than 100% accuracy. We had I think Excadrill, Molly... Oh yeah, Molly had to use a setup move upon switching in, so I couldn't just instant knock out a Pokemon. I had to use a Swords Dance. Even if I wanted to. We had Naz that couldn't use any sound moves, which is fine. Not the worst, not the best. Best whatever. We also had Drop Bear, which I believe had to switch out if any of its stats were lowered. Is that the team? Oh, and we had Carl. Carl couldn't switch out unless I had 2 cards. Wait, did I break that rule? I did, didn't I? That's probably the one rule I probably broke. Because I was thinking about switching Cobalion out, and I kind of did, didn't I? So I guess I failed the challenge. I don't know, like, if we assume that... yeah, it would have been against... No, I swapped into Cobalion with Aggron, destroyed it, started weakening... No, because I switched out against Druddigan, didn't I? Well, I didn't really send... No, I did send it back in, so it would have mattered. Yeah. So I guess technically I didn't complete it well enough. I'm so sorry, I totally forgot about Cobalion's nature. Like... I guess that is part of the challenge, right? Trying to remember them all. Because Like, on a Nuzlocke, it's like, yeah, sure, if a Pokemon dies, it's out, you know? That's easy to remember. But it's hard to keep track of all the natures, especially in the heat of battle. And, you know, there are ROM hacks that, like, enforce a Nuzlocke rule. So if there's ever a ROM hack that enforces the natures, then, you know, that would be great, but... So, yeah, I guess in a roundabout way, I found the challenge. Or at least, I would have postponed until I completed it. If I did lose to Iris, what I would have done is I would have swapped out toe beams for something else. Maybe like a dedicated ice type or dragon type. That would have given me a better chance, and so it was probably bound to happen eventually that I would win. But I probably shouldn't have won there because of Cobalian's nature. So I don't know if you guys want me to like go back to the save and try again. I don't know, like... I don't really want to go back to it, but I also technically didn't do it well enough. I'm gonna count it as a win, right? I'll just have to remember this next time I do this kind of challenge, but I do apologize because it is a lot to keep in mind in the heat of battle. And so if you are doing this kind of challenge at home, I do imagine that there will be points where you forget about one of your natures. And there has been a few times where I've forgotten about switching into Silky, for example. So... But until we get ROM hacks that enforce these nature rules, you just kind of have to do what you can, really. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's stream. We did manage to beat it. I am going to count it as a win, even though technically not really. But we take those, you know? So, it has been a long journey. Maybe I'll do this challenge again in the future for a different Pokemon game. But at least for now, this will open up a new slot in my week to play something else. There was Final Fantasy X that I was kind of poking around the idea of. I just need to re-download because the hard drive didn't really work out too well. But yeah, I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.